I saw a compilation. By the way, because I'm still angry because of what they did to us. What the media, what the government, what Fauci, that little rat. No accountability for any of them. I saw a compilation that I sent to Kelly. She's going to play it on Twitter. It pissed me off. It's of the left-wing media and all these talk show hosts, losers, shaming and scaring the unvaccinated to get vaccinated. It actually got me fucking mad, and that's why I was like, I had to talk about it. Kelly, can you please show this clip? Roll it. Roll it.
You are the unvaccinated. You are the problem. It is the unvaccinated who are the problem. Period. End of story.
The only people that you can blame, this isn't shaming, this is the truth.
Both fired.
Maybe they should be shamed, are the unvaccinated.
Have to start
unemployed.
blaming the unvaccinated folks, not the regular folks.
Anyone you came into contact with will blame you, as will the rest of us who have done the right thing by getting vaccinated.
Because frankly, we know that we can't trust the unvaccinated.
I think it's time to get our moral house in order, Anderson. It's the unvaccinated who are the threat.
All of us vaccinated folks are going to start wearing masks to protect the unvaccinated folks. It's called a Christian value.
Basically punishing the vaccinated for the sins of the unvaccinated.
People are not behaving honorably. The unvaccinated are basically saying, well, it's open season for me. I can do whatever I want as well.
The unvaccinated are basically beating their breasts, running around the country saying, we don't care, we're living free, and so forth.
We've been patient.
Look.
But our patience is wearing thin.
The unvaccinated, a group that includes children and people acting like children. And the rest of us are starting to get pissed off.
The vaccinated feel the unvaccinated are making me upset or angry.
This is not about freedom or personal choice.
Oh, and by the way, I know that's all good because that was part one. There's like 3 parts. The next one was Schwarzenegger, who I absolutely hate. He goes, the hell with your freedom. By the way, with that accent, you can't tell everybody, fuck your freedom. I don't want to hear that out of your disgusting fucking mouth. But yo, so think about it. That bothered me so much because all that rhetoric, careers were ruined, and now they forced it. They made people, scared parents, to give it to their children, Christy, and now myocarditis, which is a real thing. It's a phenomenon. All these young people are getting it. I saw a doctor that was interviewing on Twitter. I don't know if it was Elon. It was on one show. Legitimate doctor, and he's like, "Oh, if you have myocarditis, you have a good 10 to 12 years, and you're kaput. You're dead." But now people, and mind you, everybody's backtracking. And then there was another video before we get into it, Christy. Another video that the creepiest video of them all was ex-mayor de Blasio when he was pushing the vaccine. He's eating, did you remember this, Dodge? He's eating French fries. Think about this. He's pitching you to take an experimental drug, a vaccine, and he's saying the fries in this burger. Look how disgusting and creepy this piece of shit is. Go ahead, Kelly, play it.
Free fries when you get vaccinated?
Look at this.
I got vaccinated.
Look at this demon, Leo. Look.
You're saying I could get this? These delicious fries?
Look. Who eats
Wait a minute.
Look, wait a minute.
But there's also a burger element to this?
Put this drug in you.
Let me check with Bill Neathart. Is it too early in the day to eat a burger? No. This could be
really?
breakfast.
Oh, he has to talk to his handler.
I want you to look at this and think about, again, some people love hamburgers, some don't. Really want to respect
he wants to be
all
neutral,
ways
meat
of
or
life.
not meat.
If this is appealing to you, just think of this when you think of vaccination.
Oh my God. Dude!
Vaccination.
An experimental drug for a $5 burger.
I'm getting a very good feeling about vaccination right this moment.
Oh my God.
This is pretty.
Okay, so we're going to look back at this in 20 years and be like, what the hell? Kelly, go ahead. What?
It makes me absolutely sick because of especially how I reacted to the vaccine and how I feel now. And then, this guy's basically get fries or die. And I don't.
It's true.
It's not the stress. I had already had COVID.
Yep.
And, the stress of like trying to protect your family, your parents, whatever. And now I have like a circulation issue.
Great.
My entire left side of my body was numb. It's like the heart thing is real. Like it makes me really sick. The rhetoric, how they could do this and not let you have a choice. Like some of those unvaccinated people had COVID.
Yeah,
so,
I had it.
And they had the antibodies already. Some of those unvaccinated people didn't want to risk it and could have made other choices. They stayed unvaccinated, but they stayed at home or whatever. Like, why does it have... I hate these people.
Oh, and again, going back to what we're talking about, zero accountability. Where's Dr. Fauci? When's the last time, Shamari, you saw Dr. Fauci? Be honest.
I don't really, this goes back to our last episode. I don't really care too much about Fauci anymore.
You don't?
It's about the drug dealers and the drug users. And right now, I'm a little bit mad at us because we fell for it. Because what we just watched is either really bad marketing or brainwashing. And then the fact that the guy is going to say, when you think of the vaccine, think of a burger and fries.
What the
It's an obvious play. Who the hell thinks a burger and fries is healthy? And this is coming from a fat dude.
You want
Who
a side
in God's name thinks that a burger and fries is equivalent to a cure in health?
You want
and
a side of myocarditis with that?
Yeah, you want to? Can I get a side of myocarditis? But Shamari, think about this. We're saying this right now. In the moment when this was the pandemic, the vaccine's out. Think about how many people bought into that, and they're like, you know, I'm gonna get it. This burger and fries was the go over the hump. I'm gonna get it now because of that asshole.
And I'll tell you the thing. I remember during the whole time they locked you up in your house, told you to stick some experimental thing in your body, and not once did anybody ever go outside and say, maybe get some exercise, get some fresh air, make sure that you got your circulation going. Not one time. Not one time did a natural, healthy cure ever come to mind.
But now, hold on. And weren't you upset, though? I want to hear what you have to say about this, Chrissy. Well, Shamari, everybody in here agrees 1,000%. Isn't it kind of effed up that anybody that was trying to talk about anything other than the shot was silenced, banned, taken down off of Twitter, taken down off of YouTube. Some of them still have
Vinnie, you have said this on PBD Podcast. It was a test. They wanted to see how much they had their claws in society. And the reason why I really do abhor this, as somebody who studied philosophy, there's a theory or there's a philosophical quote. I can't remember who it comes from, but it says that if you are willing to give up your security, or if you are willing to give up your freedom for a little bit of security, you deserve neither.
The great Dwight D.
You deserve
Eisenhower.
neither. So people were willing to give up their freedom, go sit in your house, take an injection for the idea of security. You didn't even know if it really worked.
No, of course. It's an experiment.
It's a bunch of sheep. We're sheeple.
Chrissy, what do you think?
Not all of us are sheeple.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, I'm super, super grateful that I was actually living in New York City in my own apartment in Harlem while all of this was happening. So because I was by myself, I was watching everything kind of happen. And I was like, how are people not seeing the inconsistencies? How are people not asking questions? I feel like they were already brainstorming on how to like limit people from even asking a question of like, how effective is it? Like just critical thinking. And it was really sad when I saw that, when I saw Governor Cuomo at the time, like I just saw them with all this grifting, all this vilifying. I got bullied from certain fans from the show that I was doing. It was like, it was disgusting. And then I was traveling from New York to Florida during that time when they're like, oh, stay at home, stay. I was doing everything the opposite. Whenever they told me to stay inside, I went outside and I went for runs outside rather than being in my apartment. Whenever they said, oh, wear your masks even outside, it just didn't make sense to me. I'm like asking questions. I'm like, wouldn't things like natural immunity, like getting COVID, and I know that for some people it affected and it made it worse for them, but wouldn't you want to stay healthy? Like, wouldn't you be promoting like, hey, get active exercise in your apartment, jump rope, take some workout classes, eat healthy? Like, they never focused on that. Then they start promoting things that are literally harmful for you, like burgers, fries. I remember they had like a free donut day in New York for Krispy
they were just throwing them out to be like, hey,
if you got vaccinated.
Glaze? Go ahead, get a needle in your ass.
I was watching this and I'm like, this just does not make sense to me. And God forbid I ask questions. I started seeing people getting censored on Facebook. I saw scientists that were coming out against the vaccine that while I was watching the video live, it would freeze and it would just say video no longer available. And I would call my mom from Miami and I'm like, hey, are you watching these scientists that are saying to not take the vaccine yet? And she was like, yeah, it froze. It froze on me too. So I was just like, this is weird. And you just need to ask questions. I shifted my entire career because I got fired from 2 jobs because of the same unions that the writers are now striking against. Those same unions were literally vilifying me and saying, you need to get vaccinated. I got fired from jobs and I came to Florida and I was like, you know what? I feel like being free. So I'm gonna come and I'm gonna take my money and I'm gonna take it to a state that actually lets me ask questions, that lets me get back to work, and that respects the fact that I don't need to get vaccinated. I'd rather be healthy. If anything, get COVID, that's on me. That's my responsibility. So why are people just automatically saying, hey, let me just give up my freedoms for a little bit of security? Since when has the government ever cared about you being healthy? I don't trust anybody or ask questions to those people who get money by making me sick. So that was my whole thing. So what angers me is not the fact, it was the fact that they had all that propaganda. What angers me even more is that right now it's apparent that we were correct and people still do not want to ask questions. People are still like, hey, that's a big speculation. It's like, it's just a question.
Yeah.
And if you're still too like brainwashed to even understand that, then I don't know what else to do for you. Then you've fallen for it. Then you are part of the test that they are happy that you have become this type of person who still wears masks in a car, who will happily take their 5th, 6th booster, who doesn't ask questions. You are part of the filler that they are looking for, and you are part of the problem here.
Amen.
Oh yes,
amen.
Christy.
Amen. I love because
Yes,
Kelly's
Kelly.
over there. Kelly, all the
Yes.
girls are like, let's go. Yeah, Jorge.
Thank you.
Good audience. Okay, so, and I'm going to ask Dodge, Christy, Kelly, and Mari, I want to ask you guys a question. All we keep seeing is the truth coming out from, I mean, we always knew the real awake people, not this woke crap. JFK murdered by his government, okay? CIA, FBI,
CIA.
That's called treason. Treason, they should all be hanged, okay? All of them. All right, so from that, from every moment in history, and I'm gonna I'll fast forward, to what they're doing with COVID, to Hillary cheating in 2016, all this stuff, all this, when is it gonna be? Yeah, exactly. When is enough going to be enough for these sheep, or are they too brainwashed, to wake up? What is going to be the, and when Vivek was talking about revolution, he's like, I'm not talking about burning and kill, no. When is it going to take, what moment, what part of history, if it's going to happen, where human beings, because we're the 99%, they're the 1%, they're the minority. What is it going to take for us to be like, you know what? Fuck this, all right? I'm tired. Monday morning, if next Monday everybody went, you know what? Nobody's going to work, okay? None of us are going to get gas. We're done with this shit until you guys change. That's the only way it's going to change. But what do you think what's going to have to happen? Kelly, I'm going to go to you and then you, Dodge, after her.
Well, people are scared to think for themselves or make their own decisions because, one, they could be canceled. Two, it's just easier to do what you're told to do. Me, I was a sheep, and I got the vaccine because of my grandmother. My parents pressured me into it. They were like, doctors say it's okay, you should do it. And I was like, but I already had COVID. Like, I just had it. I just got over it. Should I still get it?
Yeah, but that pressure was heavy, Kelly.
That's crazy.
I did it.
My family pressured me too.
Though.
I swear to God.
My family did too.
I woke up, the entire left side of my body was numb. I have had issues ever since then. My left arm will hurt all the time now, especially when I'm like upset or angry. Like my left arm, I'm like, am I gonna have a heart attack?
That happened to me with a weed brand.
I know something is wrong with me. And that's where I woke up and I was like, okay, I really have to stick to my gut and make my own decisions from now on. Like I can't trust the government and the news to tell me the truth. Nope. I have to stick to my gut and do my research and make my own decision. And, you know, sometimes it's hard with your family members to, like, go against what your family's saying because they might believe it too, or they have a doctor friend. Like, one of my sister's best friends is a nurse and was saying, like, don't get it. And I was like, oh, a nurse is telling me not to.
Not only that,
but, like, and it has to be okay that you're at peace with yourself. That I'm making my decision. If this family member's not going to forgive me for right now, I can try to work on that later. But it's hard.
Yeah, I can imagine. Shit, I left Los Angeles because all comedy clubs were like, you can't come in here without vaccine. I was like, bro, I was getting fake vaccination cards. I don't give a shit. I'll say it live. I had a fake ass one.
You weren't the only one. Let's be real.
Yeah. Well, Dodge, what were you gonna say?
So I think that catalyst to change all of this, which is why the Democrats are so scared, is actually Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Because I think that the Democratic administration has done a very good job about politicizing the whole COVID and vaccine situation. So I was always skeptical. I got the Johnson & Johnson. I wanted to go to Canada, but then after they said, oh, you need more and more, I'm like, hell no. And I was on a 4-month-long road trip the day COVID began. It was actually great. I had
you were out in the open. Good for you. Good for you.
But anyway, so what they successfully did is Democrats said, well, if you are more liberal on abortion, if you are more open on immigration and a little more tolerant, if you are more socially liberal, well, then guess what? You have to, in your pro-environment, you have to be pro-vaccine because all of these kind of violently conservative social issues, all those are the crazy people. You don't agree with them on those issues.
Yeah.
They're the people that are against the vaccine.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you see Robert Kennedy, who is waking up a lot of libertarians, a lot of moderates, a lot of progressives who still support civil liberties, because guess what? That's a liberal ideal, to safeguard your civil liberties. And that is why the Democratic Party is trying so hard to bury Robert Kennedy. And even if he doesn't win this time around, he is going to have a significant voice. And the next Democratic nominee, I think, will be vaccine skeptical. This is the beginning of a huge movement, and the Democrats are shaking in their boots.
I hope
Can you imagine?
Wow.
I feel like for the first time, I feel like everybody would be comfortable to see RFK on the Democratic side and like Trump or like Vivek or someone like that go against each other.
Because then I'd be happy whoever won, I wouldn't be mad.
Right.
Yeah, because whoever won, I'd be like, okay, I can deal with them.
And RFK was the one, I read his book. I read The Real Anthony Fauci. I strongly recommend it. Get it hardcover because people can change things online.
You're going to be scared as shit, though, because I read it.
You're going to be scared. It's going to be really emotional, but it's really enlightening and eye-opening on like what Fauci has done
80
since
studies.
Since the AIDS epidemic. But like RFK was the one who opened my eyes to it, and I saw it, and I was like, wow, I respect this man so much. Even if I don't believe... Like, even if I don't agree with everything that he says, I could listen to this man because you know what? He even said it in the beginning of the book. This isn't about Republican or Democrat. This is about getting to the truth.
Right. Yep.
About the American people as a whole getting affected from this. So I have tremendous respect for him. He has the courage to stand up to it.
I love it. Dude, and think about him having that voice now and being that person, knowing they killed your uncle and your father, dude. Man. Oh my, he is so, listen, I said this, I think I said this once, Shamar, it might have been on this show, Kelly. I go, you know how lucky RFK is that technology, he better wake up every morning and clap for the iPhone because everybody has a camera. They can't do him dirty like they did. There's not just Zapruder on one guy with a grassy knoll. Everybody and their mother has a Zapruder film now.
Well, everybody's on DVD now instead of just CNN, which is nice too.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
And to get back to your question, like when is enough enough? I think that what we're seeing right now is the revolution that Vivek was talking about at the town hall meeting. I feel like when you have people who are courageous enough to stand against the establishment, and the Kennedys have always been anti-establishment, Vivek spoke wonderfully, and he's a young one. He's only 38 years old. So whether he gets the nomination or not this time around, we have a bright future in like a young person who has the energy to do it. I think that that's what shakes it. People who are courageous like Trump, who like fight against the system that has clearly not been for us, who have suppressed us, who have kept us in the dark. I think those people, when you have those courageous people, and more people need to step up, I think we need more of that. I think that that's what's happening now, and that's why they're trying so hard on both sides to silence these types of people.